So on last turn, we are discussing about LR parsing. You have seen the parsing of a string ID plus ID into ID. Here example is ID into ID plus ID. Okay. So next I have told you that for all type of LR parser, we have three type of LR parser. One is SLR, second one is canonical LR, and third one is LLR. So for all type of LR parser, we use same program and this algorithm, it will check means the current input symbol pointed by input pointer and the state on top of stack. On the basis of that, it consoles the action field. Okay. And there may be these four possible actions. Shift S, reduced by a particular production, accept, and error. If action is shift S, then current symbol pointed by input pointer from input buffer is shifted onto the stack, and this S will be the next state. Just see the configuration. In this configuration, this is the content of stack and this is the content of input buffer. TOS is pointing to this state and input pointer is pointing to this AI. So if action SM AI is shift and next state suppose M, then what will happen? The configuration of parser is get changed after taking this action. Just see, content of stack will be now, these are the old information you have onto the stack, then this AI from input buffer is shifted into the stack, and this N means here it is S, okay, will be the state on top of stack, and your input pointer is advanced to point next symbol, that is AI plus 1. Okay. In this way, the action is going to be taken. In the case of if action is reduced by a particular production, then you have seen it will compute mod of beta, means length of the beta, number of grammar symbol to the right of the production by which you need to be perform reduce operation. So, and you know, in each grammar symbol followed by a state. So what we have to do in the stack, we have to multiply by, so you have to pop out this much of information from this stack. If mod beta is 3, then you have to pop out 6 symbol of the stack. Means 3 state and 3 grammar symbol. Okay, you have to pop out from the stack. And Suppose after popping out 6 symbol of this stack, means mark beta into 2 symbol of this stack, the top of stack has a state S dash. Then what you have to do? You have to push in left side of the production. That is A. A to beta means A. And the state after A, you can get from go to field. Go to S dash A. Suppose it is S double dash. So here you have to put S double dash. Okay. Onto this tag, and your there is no change in the content of the input buffer. You may have action may be shift, reduce, and maybe successful accept means successful completion of the parsing. And if suppose the top of stack and current input symbol is pointing to a position in the action field where you don't have any entry, that is considered as error entry. And in that case, you have to call error service routine. Okay. So on last term, we have discussed. Just see again, repeat the example. Then we will discuss how we construct the table. For that, use this. Initially, stack, we have stack and input buffer. Initially, stack has a start state, that is 0. And in input buffer, you have ID plus ID into ID followed by dollar, string to be parsed. Okay. For this situation, the configuration of the parser will be 0 and here ID plus ID into ID dollar. This is the configuration of the parser. Now 0 and ID will say about the next action. So 0 is this, ID is this. It will refer the table, action field of the table, S5. It means shift ID. So you will get 0 ID. ID is shifted and next state is 5. ID 5. And the content of input buffer will be ID asterisk ID dollar. After this action, the change in configuration is like this: 0 ID and 5. This is, and here plus ID into ID. So this will be the configuration of the parser. Next, 5 and plus, you see, 5 and plus R6. R6 means reduced by production number 6. Okay, production number 6, as you have seen, A to beta in the example, Here we have F2 ID, identifier. So first we have to compute mod beta. Mod beta is 1 into 2 is 2. So you have to pop out, means in the action is reduced by production number 6. So to reduce, you have to replace right side of the production. Actually, you have handle on top of stack. Entire operation. The problem in bottom up parsing is in this how we decide the handle. You have seen the problem during we have discussed about the shift reduce parsing. Then for special grammar, operator grammar, we have discussed the operator precedence parsing, and now this is generalized method, LR parsing, generalized method for bottom up parsing. And you see your handle will always appear on top of stack along with these states. So here we have to pop out mod beta into 2 symbol of the stack. This mod beta into 2 symbol of the stack. So mod beta is 1, only 1 identity. This identifier into 2 is 2. So you pop out 2 symbol of the stack. Now 0 is on top. That is, you just recall the discussion I have told you. You have to record this state 0 after popping out the states and push in left side of the production. You will get 0A. Now we can find the next state after A from go to 0A. 0, this is F, sorry, this is not A, this is F. F2 ID. A is here in the rule. So go to 0F. 0F is 3. So in this way, it will work. And last one, we have discussed about this. Now, how to construct this table? So see the construction of the table. How to construct this? This is parsing example. As you know, we have 3 type of table. One is SLR, that is simple LR. It is simple table, but weaker. It is not, this table is not able to resolve all type of ambiguity. Okay. So then we have second method, that is canonical LR. This is canonical LR, and it is the strongest. Okay, if a grammar is LR grammar, then it will find the table without any ambiguity. What do you mean by ambiguity? Ambiguity means in table we get a position, action. There we are not able to decide which action should be taken. Means suppose action state S and input symbol, suppose X, there is 4 possible action. Okay. So for this particular case, you may have shift to shift, or shift reduce or reduce reduce. Shift reduce means by at same block, it may be possible that you have a shift action as well as reduce action. Means you may get handle on top of a stack and you have the provision to shift the symbol from input buffer. Second type of ambiguity may arise, reduce conflict. Means you can get two handle on top of a stack. In that case, there is reduce conflict. So this is called conflict. Ambiguity means conflict. And in that case, your grammar is, means your table is not, means you can't proceed, because if you want to solve any problem through algorithm, it must be deterministic. But we will not get this this type of situation in the canonical LR parsing table if it is LR grammar. Then, but the size of the canonical LR parsing table is very, very huge and it become unmanageable. Okay, you will see during discussion, you will see why the table become very large and become very difficult to manage it. We'll discuss. So we have moderate version of table that is called LLR, and that we'll discuss. Now see the basic of the LR parsing. If you recall, the content of stack in LR parser has two information. One is grammar symbol, another is state. State means state of the parser. The state on top of stack will be the state of the parser. Okay. So what it means? It will say about the okay, I will just explain it. Before that, in SLR parser, simple LR parser, is also called LR0 parser. LR0 means we are not considering any symbol from input buffer for deciding the parsing action. I have told you LR parsing is called LRK parsing. You are aware with the meaning of LNR. The K is the look ahead symbol. From where it will look ahead the symbol. Look ahead symbol means from the input buffer. Okay. To decide the parsing action. Okay. So SLR parsing is also called LR0 parsing, and canonical LR parsing is called LR1 parsing. We consider one symbol from input buffer for deciding the parsing action. Okay. Now come to the construction of the table. First, we will discuss about SLR parsing table. हाँ विजय, okay. So suppose we are discussing about state. Suppose there is a production A to x1, x2, x3 in the grammar, where A is a non-terminal, x1, x2, x3 are the grammar symbol. You know, A will show a certain language construct, and this language construct is constituted with these three subconstruct x1, x3, x2 and x3. So if we are parsing the language construct shown by this A, non-terminal A, then you must go through this x1, x2 and x3. When you go through, you may be at this position or at this position, A2, x1 dot x2, x3. Second possible position, A2, x1, x2 dot x3. And fourth is A2, x1, x2, x3 dot. Now, see, for same production, you during parsing, you may be at any of these four places. Okay. So this will say about four different states. And what actions should be taken at particular state that is that you have to decide. So first we find these and actually for this production we have four different this is called item. Okay, so for one production you will get, here we have four items. You just see. And actually it is called LR0 item. Okay, you can define item is a production in the grammar with dot at any position in the right side of the production. Okay. This is called LR0 item. Similarly, we have LR1 item that we will discuss during discussion of LR parsing table. Okay. So we try to find items. Okay. Now how we proceed for construction of the table? First thing, just see first meaning of this. If you have this item says that you are in the state to start the parsing this construct. This item says you have passed this construct and you have to pass this construct. Similarly, this item set says you have passed this and you have to parse it. And now see, this is the very important. If you have passed entire construct, in that case, you are able to reduce this to A. Okay. So if we have this type of situation, there we can define reduce action. In this state, we can define reduced action. Now, how we compute the items? Actually, for construction of SLR parsing table, we have to compute the item sets for each production, and that is called canonical collection of LR0 item. Okay. One thing more, how we identify, yes, this is the start and this is accept. For that, we have to modify the grammar. Means we have to augment the grammar by introducing a production. If suppose S is the start symbol of the grammar, then we introduce a production S dash to S in the grammar. Why? Just see, for this production S dash to S, we may have two items, this S dash to S dot. So this will say you are going to start the parsing. That will say about the item set having this item will say about the start state of the parser. You are going to start the parsing. And the item set having this will say about the accept state. You have completed the parsing, because in bottom of parsing you have to reduce entire string on the start symbol. So we have to augment the grammar by introducing this production to identify the start state and accept state. Now, see how we find the canonical collection of LR0 item sets. For that, we have to operate for construction of the LR0 parsing table. We use two algorithms to compute the items. First is closure. Closure operation means, suppose you have a production item A2 alpha dot B beta in an item set II. And in your grammar, you have B2 gamma production. In that case, you can add A2 dot gamma as a closure item. What it means? If this will say you are at this state of the parsing, this position of the parsing, this is B2 dot gamma, B, this is B. If you are here, you must be here. Okay? So if you are here, you can go for the parsing of this construct also. So this item is closure item. Okay. And in item set, we have to keep an item set will say about certain state of the parser, and it will have all the items, all possible items for the grammar which are closer to this. So we can compute closure. Just see. This is you are familiar with this grammar. We have introduced this reproduction for augmenting the grammar, means changing the grammar into augmented grammar. Now see, E dash to dot E is an item. Okay. Then we can compute closure item. You apply same rule, B to gamma. B, you have this item set alpha dot B beta. Means non-terminal B just after dot. You have to consider this. So non-terminal E just after dot. So you will look for the production having left side E to its left side. So we have this production, this production. So using this, you can write E2 dot E plus T and E2 dot T as a closure item to this item. Now see this dot T. You have a non-terminal T just after dot, and here you have non-terminal T to the left of the production. So you can write T2 dot T into F, T2 dot F. Similarly for F, F2 dot F2 dot IT. So for this item, these items are the closure item. Okay. We have two type of item. One is kernel item and another is non-kernel item. Kernel items are important items. You must have the kernel item in any item set. Okay. And if you miss some not kernel item, it will not change. But what is kernel item? An item that has dot that doesn't have dot to the left of the production. Means suppose we have A2 alpha beta gamma. So this item will not be the kernel item. Remaining all item will be the kernel item. But there is exception in this rule. This item S dash to dot S is a kernel item. Okay. Remaining all items are the non-kernel item. Means remaining all means the except this all the item that has dot to the left. In right side of the production are the non-kernel item. Okay. There is one more operation that is called go-to operation. Go-to can be defined. It is applicable for terminal and non-terminal. Suppose we have A2 alpha dot x beta in item set II. Then go to II x will be item set ij containing A2 alpha x dot beta. X dot beta means A2 alpha x dot beta. Yes, you have to always consider the way of writing the grammar. If here I am writing x, it means it is a grammar symbol. It may be terminal symbol or non-terminal symbol. Okay. If here alpha b beta, it means it is non-terminal. Alpha a beta, it is terminal symbol. Okay. So you must keep it in mind that this is the convention of writing convention of the grammar, and we use. Otherwise, you have to specify that this symbol is terminal, this symbol is non-terminal, this, and that is not a good practice. Okay. Now see here, I, it is an item set you have just computed in previous slide. Now go to I E. See what you get. E is a non-terminal. So we have these two item. You will get E dash to E dot. E dash to E dot, and another here you can apply E to E dot plus T. Okay. These two items will be in Go, and that will be a new item set IJ. If in this new item set you are getting any item having dot just before non-terminal, then you have to compute the closure item. Okay. So here go to E, you can see go to T, go to F, go to opening bracket, go to ID, everything. Here in the case of go to opening bracket, this case will give now you have dot just before a non-terminal. Then you have to compute the closure. And here just see in this the color of this is kernel item, this is kernel item, this is kernel item, kernel item. These items are following the condition for kernel item. But this is non-kernel item, non-kernel item, non-kernel item, non-kernel item, so on. But again, this is kernel item. Okay. Now using this, that is closure and goto, you can compute the canonical collection of LR0 item sets. So see next, then this is the canonical collection of LR0 item set that we'll discuss. We have compute. Come to this place. We have computed this. Suppose, okay, clear it, put it. Leave it. इसको हटाइए. You just take the grammar. And grammar is, you can take grammar from here. How we proceed for construction of LR0 item set. What you have to do, first you have to convert this grammar into augmented grammar. So you have to add one more production, that is E dash to E. Suppose it is 0. So we will start I0 computing E dash to dot E, an item. Now you can compute the closure item. You will get E2 dot E plus T, E2 dot T, T2 dot T asterisk F, T2 dot F, F2 dot in bracket E, F2 dot ID. This is item set I0. Now from this I0 you can get other item set by applying the goto operation for various grammar symbol. So just see, go to I0 E. E is the non-terminal grammar symbol. Will give, suppose I1 containing E dash to E dot, second E2 E dot plus T. If you look into these two items, you don't have any non-terminal just after dot, so you can't add closure item to this. Now go to I0T, will give I2, which is equal to E2 T dot and T2 T dot asterisk F. Okay. Similarly, go to I0F will give I3 containing T2 F dot. Okay. Go to I0 opening bracket. It will give I4 F2 E. Now you have non-terminal just after dot. So you can apply closure operation to compute the closure, and that we will discuss on next one. Okay. Now compute the closure to construct the table.